Check, check. Jawohl. Kann's losgehen. Ja, hallo und herzlich willkommen. Hello and welcome. And you might wonder, why is he talking English? It's because the program Media Technology and Design is held in English from the upcoming winter semester. This is why I'm doing the talk in English for our international audience. But obviously, if you have any questions later on, we can talk German as well. My name is Wolfgang Hochleitner. I'm a lecturer in Media Technology and Design, and I'm going to present the curriculum, the program, a few projects to you in the next 30 minutes. And I'd like to start off with our show reel. Yeah, that was a short 1.5 minute impression of what we're doing in media technology and design. This hamburger image here basically is what the Department of Digital Media looks like, where media technology and design is a part of. We're one of actually 4 programs. You might say, why 4? I can only count 3 programs here. The thing is that we actually have 4 programs. Media Technology and Design is our technical bachelor's program. It's the one you're here for, obviously. Digital Arts is our sister program, if you will. It's the graphical or the design-oriented program in the bachelor's. And then we have 2 master's programs following up these 2, which is interactive media, which would be the logical follow-up for media technology and design. And that's why we only had 3 names before it. The master's program is also called Digital Arts. It's just Digital Arts Masters. So we have 4 programs, and you just saw 3 beforehand in the graphics. Why am I showing you that? Because that is our department. We're basically acting as one unity. You will notice that if you study media technology and design, you will notice that you have a few lectures in common with students from digital arts. You can do projects together. So there is a whole lot of cooperation going on, and we see ourselves as one big family, if you will. There's this graphic here. I'm not showing you this because I'm into history. I'm just showing you basically how the program evolved. We started out with media technology and design in 1996. We were the 2nd program here in Hagenberg after software engineering, the talk that was just in here before us. And we started as a Austrian Diplom-Studium, but in 2004, we switched to the current bachelor's and master's systems. So we were actually among the first in Austria to make that change, and we haven't regretted it since. Obviously, the program has evolved a lot. It's not the same as back then. And now with 2026, with the fall of 2026, we're switching it to English because it has been for us a logical thing to do. The whole media scene is a very international one, and obviously our crowd is as well. So it made sense for us to go that way. Especially if you're looking at interactive media, the master's program, it has been English since 2009. So we always had an international master's program following up media technology and design. And we've collected a lot of experience in that field. We know how that works. We also know how to address the local crowd, if you will. So there's always the possibility to talk to people in German. It doesn't have to strictly be English all the time. And all this experience we want to extend to media technology and design, and well, take you on an English and international journey with an Austrian flavor in the field of media technology. Okay, let's get to the program's foundations. What is media technology and design? We use the term MTD a lot. This is why you can see MTD.BA. BA just stands for bachelor's. Yeah, we use this kind of simple formula. We like to use it. We say media technology is basically, it's always an idea plus the technology, but also a piece of, or a bit of design, because the technology can only be, or can only do so well with the design in hand. If you have the greatest technological product, the greatest game, the greatest website, whatever you want, yeah, it will never be complete if it hasn't been designed properly. And this is basically what we're doing here and we're trying to accomplish. And what also maybe sets us apart from a few other technically oriented media programs in Austria is that we're including this design part. We want to give you the basic skills to make your technological prototypes, games, websites, whatever it is. We want to make them look good, feel good, and behave good. That's the thing. Creative ideas can be experienced through the application of current technologies would be a sentence to sum all of this up. Let's look at the curriculum. We do have basically five, sorry. Counting problems, obviously. We do have 5 lanes that are essential for our curriculum. And these are basically the things you will study if you come to us. You will get an education in the so-called full stack web development. So you get all the necessary skills to do web development and also web design. This is why we call it full stack, front end and back end, if you will. Then we do have a focus on game development. Obviously, you're also getting the skills in game design and level design, but the development part is definitely what's important at media technology and design. We do have audio and video and live production. So these audiovisual contents are important, but we're not doing them in a sense of, let's do a short film, for example. We're more like, let's do an image film, or let's do a live production, streaming, stuff like that. That's more what we're doing here. Then obviously, a very important topic is the UI, UX, so user interface, user experience design, because that affects everything from games to web to any application. And the foundation of everything is definitely coding and also AI. Yeah, you need these technologies to do all of this, and this is why it's part of our curriculum. I can give all of these colors and then turn it into our curriculum. And then it looks like this, yeah. PowerPoint animations. What you can see here is how the curriculum looks like. We do have 6 semesters, which is common for every program here at the Fachhochschule. Yeah? But if you look at it, you can see basically two parts of the program. The first one is the first 3 semesters, semester 1, 2, and 3. Those are definitely the part of the program that has the foundations. And as you can see in the colors from before, these are basically those 5 lanes, those 5 things that make up the program, and where you get the foundations for all of these things. I can click it, let's say, the web lane, and you can see those are basically the three so-called modules that you have in the web lane. So you start out with web fundamentals. That's how the module is called. In the module, it consists of actually the classes. So you have a web fundamentals class, which is web technology basics, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, stuff like that. And you have web design, so you know how to design a website properly. In the second semesters, you have web technologies, so you get to experience server-side web technologies and obviously databases to store information. And in the third semesters, you continue this with web architectures, where you get to learn modern front-end frameworks and also modern non-relational databases. And we can do it like this with all the lanes. I can click on the games lane here. So you can see we're starting out with introduction to games and game engine concepts. So you have the basics. Then in the second semester, we're going to game production, where you learn to create a game from the process of pitching an idea up to developing a final prototype. And this is paired with game programming, so you get to see the game programming basics in parallel. And then we're finishing this off with game technologies and also computer graphics, where you get to see real-time rendering and game engine architectures. So you can become a pro in this field as well. This would be the audiovisual lane. You can see we have moving image technology and design the first semester, so you get the basics in audio and video technology and also motion design. Yeah, so there's a design part included in that as well. Second semester is all about streaming media production. You have audio video technology that continues from the first semester, but also a live production class where you get to see all the basics that are important for live production. And the third semester is specifically about image video production. It's what we do in media technology. So split up into audio and video production with the focus on producing an image video, let's say for a company or a product. This would be the design part. Yeah, you get to see there are a few things here as well. 2D design, 3D design is 3D modeling basics and 2D design basics. We have interface design and motion graphics, and then we have a user experience design and data visualization class, and obviously also visual communication, where you get to learn visual aesthetics basics and photography, because photography is the basis for everything. Yeah, if you want to work with a camera, for a movie, for example, you need to know how a camera works. If you want to use a camera, a virtual camera in a game engine, you need to know how photography works. So this is why we have it in here. And the last thing I can click on is this one up here. It doesn't extend over 3 semesters. It's more like a reverse L shape. Modern Code is our programming introduction class. We have AI foundations in creative AI and algorithmic thinking. So this basically prepares you for all the other things where we need programming and supports all those other classes. And now you might ask, okay, Wolfgang, you said first 3 semesters and it has a lot of colors. What's with the stuff on the right side? Yeah. First hand, as you can see, in the 3rd semester, we're starting with projects. So this is really important. 3rd semester, 4th semester, 5th semester, we do have big projects, semester projects, projects where you will work with fellow students on something that extends over the course of the whole semester. So let's say a game, let's say website, let's say an image video, whatever it is. And the cool thing is we're opening up the projects in our whole department. So you can collaborate with your fellow students from digital arts and you can like complete your skills. If you're lacking, let's say, someone with character animation skills, which is not something that we have in media technology and design specifically, but digital arts has that, then you can integrate people from digital arts in your projects. You can propose a project together and you can use those combined skills to create something even more awesome, so to speak. Yeah. So those projects are an important part. As you can see, 6th semester has an internship. So this is, you're not spending this here with us, you're going out to the economy, finding a company of your choice and doing a 3 to 6 month internship. 3 is the minimum, but you can do it longer, obviously, as well. And you can see there's also these things like a bachelor's thesis and an exam, yeah, and there's a media industries class that completes, so it's like BWL in German, yeah, Betriebswirtschaftslehre, which is included here, and also economic and law, because you also need to know a little bit about, you know, the laws and regulations in the field of media. And finally, those are the projects. What are those things up here? Electives. So as you can see, the first 3 semesters, they were pretty fixed, so to speak. Yeah, it's clear what you're going to do. You're going to do all of those things. You're going to get the basics in all of those things. But then you might say, games is nice. I like games. Yeah, but I don't like the web. Web is boring. It's not. But yeah, okay. The thing is, you don't have to. Like from the 4th semester on, you have elective modules. Yeah, in German these are the Wahlfächer. Yeah, so you have a whole bunch of classes here that you need to select 3 from. So if you're not into web development, then just leave it out in the 4th and 5th semesters and focus on games. Yeah, do things like mixed reality, embodied play, for example, or go with games with a purpose, physical prototyping, if you like to tinker with hardware and stuff like that. So you can actually choose what you want to do in the higher semesters. And this is obviously necessary because a broad education is good. You will notice that because you're not a one-trick pony. You have a lot of things up your sleeve. You can do a lot of things, but specialization is also important. And I think the electives, they do those things. You can start to specialize in the later part of the program. And then, if you want to really focus on something, then just do a master's degree after that. And this enables you to really specifically focus on the part you're good at or you're interested at. Okay, so this would be for the curriculum. Let's look at a few projects, because projects are the things that make studying interesting, because you all want to, I guess at least that's why you're here, I think so. You want to do cool stuff. You want to do nice projects. You want to build a portfolio. You want to show the world, hey, I've got pretty cool things up my sleeve and I have nice ideas and I want to create something. And those are just a few things from the last few semesters that I just want to show you how the different parts of our program can look like. So, for example, this is something from the field of web development. It's a project called Aska Labs, yeah? And the students, they wanted to do basically a application for time management. So if you're self-employed and you need to record your hours when you work on a project, then you obviously have to write those down. And they had the idea, we can create a cool cube. That's where you see the blueprint on the upper left. And this cube is a piece of hardware that they also created. But in this semester, they focused more on the web application that talks to this cube, reads out the time data, and displays it and allows you to manage it. So they created a whole web application that does these things, for example. Yeah? Or here's another web project called Xout, Mach dein Ding. Yeah? It's where students created a event platform specifically for students. You can create your events, you can join in them. The platform's available for obviously laptop and desktop devices, but also works on mobile platforms because it has to, because everyone's on mobile. And that's the thing, yeah. They created a complete web application with everything that is connected with this, starting with their idea to the final project. This has been extended over 2 semesters, so they've been working on this for over a year with a fairly large project team. So that's one thing to show in the field of web. Obviously, mentioned it before, games is an important part of our program, game development, game design. This is a project from last year. It's called Deckfront. It's going to be, I hope so at least, released on Steam. You can wishlist, I think, already. They created a tower defense game with a twist, because you have these cards, as you can see in the lower left corner, and these cards basically allow you to spawn certain towers and give those towers special boosts. There's elements, water, fire, and so on and so forth, and the cards do reflect that. And so you have a tower defense game here. If you want to do, that's been done in Unreal Engine. If you want to do a workshop with the guy that did the pathfinding, go up to the 2nd floor where the Media Technology and Design program is located. We do have workshops. There's one starting at 11 with Sandro from this game, and he's doing a pathfinding workshop in Unreal Engine. So if you want to know how that works, you can experience it yourself. Other thing, mixed reality. Yeah, that's also a topic that was from last semester. It's a game called Depth Bound. It's a card game, a collaborative, no, well, not really collaborative, a co-located, you would say, card game. As you can see, multiple people are playing in the same space. They see the same things, but you don't see your own cards. You only see the cards from the other people. And you have to play a card game. Yeah, they did that in Unity with the Meta Quest frameworks and so on. So there's been a lot of things going on here, and they definitely had a lot of fun developing this. They started out like really basic, trying to play traditional card games to just get a feeling how does that have to be in mixed reality, and in the end, they developed quite a nice application so you can play a card game together. I'm going to shut up for a moment here because this has audio. Soon. It takes a bit. Because this is an image video.
Weicht, der Nebel aus den Tälern zieht und die ersten Strahlen des Morgenlichts die Berge berühren, liegt über dem Nationalpark Kalkalpen eine Stille, die man kaum anderswo findet. Auf rund 21.000 Hektar schützt der Nationalpark die größte Waldwildnis Österreichs. Ein Mosaik aus Bergen, Wäldern, Almen und glasklaren Bächen. Lebensräume, die in dieser Vielfalt einzigartig sind. Die uralten Buchenwälder sind das
So if you ever
einzige UNESCO-Weltnaturerbe
come to the Nationalpark Kalkalpen and you see this image video, then this is something that students from our program produced. Pretty impressive visuals, also a professional speaker that recorded the voice acting, and they had fun filming that. Although they said getting up at 2 in the morning so that you're at 4 a.m. in the Nationalpark is quite a thing to do for a student probably. Yeah. But as I said, it's a pretty nice video, and you're probably going to see that online for the Nationalpark. Yeah. So that would be an example for image video production. Here's an example for a media technology physical prototyping project. This is called PlantPal. You've seen it in the showreel video in the beginning. Students, they created an automatic plant watering system, and they built everything themselves. You can see it's been fixed in here. They created their own parts, 3D printed them, put a microcontroller into it. I think it's a Raspberry or an ESP32, and they then wrote the software, wrote a connection to a mobile app so that they can basically water their plants and supervise their plants remotely. So that your plants never die, hopefully. Yeah. I have to ask them if they did any long-term studies on that, but this is how it looks like when you start assembling your hardware for that, in fast forward. Then, as I said, UX design is a thing. We had a project with KTM where the students designed the UX design for their augmented reality motorcycle configurator. So that was part of a research project, but also a semester project. Yeah, so those are things that we're doing. And for more of the basic classes, this is an example for photography. Like each year, students they have a common topic. Like this topic was called My Neighbors. So everyone was to photograph or take a photograph of their neighbor. This is called From Thread to Fabric. And students learn, composition of images and how to use the camera and lighting and all of these things. We're doing 3D modeling in media technology and design as well. So students learn to do 3D scenes. And as you can see, lighting, camera is also a thing here. By day and by night, it's the same scene here, because that is also a basic for many, many things, for games and all of that stuff. And this is about event production. I'm going to leave the sound a little bit in the background. This is a trailer for our event format. It was called Media Madness this year. Like each year, the 5th semester students, they have a class called event production, and they're planning the final presentations. That they're doing a big event like this year. We went to Gallnerkirchen, to a location out of the house, out of our own building. And we had a one-day event where they're showing the projects, and the students are producing everything, you know, from the trailer to they're doing the moderation, they're doing camera, live streaming, all of that in cooperation with digital arts. And it's always a nice big event, and it's great for students to show their own work. So this is what's coming at the end of the program in the 5th semester. Here's a short studio tour, but I'm going to skip that pretty soon because you're in the open house, and I'm just definitely recommending to you go up to the 1st floor and experience the studio yourself. We do have a live recording studio with camera equipment. You can try out motion capture today here. So we do have a lot of equipment. We also have an audio studio and a video editing studio. That's all shown in the video. You can have a look at that online, but for today, just go upstairs and have a look at it. We do have someone here in the back that is going to guide you up there if you want. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that in the end. For now, a few other things. We're doing games education, but everyone could theoretically follow along. We're running an open concept here. We're having a wiki, the Hagenberg Games Wiki, where all our students basically are putting in their game concepts and their progress and their status into this wiki, so everyone could look in real time, basically, what the students are working on. We're not hiding that in some drawer. We're making that public, and this has been a great idea so far. Talking about the internship in the end, I'm not going to read all of those companies, just saying when you're doing your mandatory internship, you can do that all over the globe, and students are definitely doing that. Some are staying here in Austria, some are going to Germany, some are going to England, and some are going all around the world. Virtual internships have become also an option recently. Not sure if you would want that, but some students actually prefer it to work for a company remote. So we're living in exciting times, but the internship is definitely an important part. Finally, we do also have a few events we're hosting, or we're organizing a conference in the field of animation and games. It's called the Expanded Conference. It's happening during Ars Electronica Festival, and our students are once again helping to do this conference by, you know, filming, live streaming, and so on and so forth. And we're working with the Ars Electronica Center also in their deep space, creating games and animations for it. And we're hosting a game jam each year. In December, that was December 2025, the Hagenberg Game Jam with the topic Artificial Stupidity. And we always have a lot of students doing 81 participants games in these 36 hours, and there's a lot of cool stuff happening. You can look at those at hagenberg-gamejam.at. All games are online, and you can download them and play them and enjoy them, and a few of them are also upstairs in our labs. So if you like that, go and apply. May 31st is the deadline. You can apply online, and if you have questions about application, I recommend go up to the Studienberatung, to the student guidance, and ask everything. What are the application requirements? How does the interview look like? You can all of this ask upstairs. This is why the open house is for. Our head of programs is usually around, so those are there for questions. But for now, I'm done with the talk. I hope I could give you a little bit of an insight into media technology and design, and I would love to see you upstairs. And now, if you want to have a guide upstairs, yeah, Philip is here in the back, one of our students, and he's going to, if you want, he's going to take you on a tour through all of the labs, up to our labs in the 2nd floor. So if you want to take that offer, just go to Philip here in the back, and he's going to accompany you upstairs and show you everything that is important. Thank you very much for listening and for watching the talk, and see you later. Thanks.